J'ai les yeux qui sourient, près de toi moi je feel sunny. J'ai la tête qui fleurit, avec toi moi je feel hippie. Je vois le monde en couleur, près de toi moi je feel happy.
Good morning and welcome to Grumpy Sheep Happy Llama podcast. This is episode number 6 and we are recording this episode in Westport, Ontario on vacation. Yep. And this will be taped in front of a live audience. So welcome, grab a cup of tea, a cold drink if you need one, beer, wine, whatever it is that you like, and sit down and knit with us for a little bit as we share all the things.
Yes. My name is Sylvie.
Robin. Nice to see you.
Yes, and please, before we get starting, if you would like to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button, that would be wonderful, so you get to see when we'll be on again. So we could share with you some more our things that we love to do.
Which is everything.
Which is everything.
All right. So we're going to give you a little bit of a table of contents for our episode today. So normally what we talk about is we go through our FOs and our whips for knitting, spinning, sewing, weaving, and
whatever else.
And then at the end we kind of chat a little bit and talk about different things that you may not be aware of that we're just learning.
Yeah.
And then we end the whole thing off with a little trip someplace with a little video, which I think is kind of fun.
Yeah.
And everything will be a timestamp at the bottom. So in the down bar, they say, in the down bar. Underneath our
in the description box.
Yeah. So you can go watch whatever it is that you prefer.
Yeah. And if it's moving, we apologize.
We have
the table is not that stable, so
it's an antique table, Airbnb.
So we will try not to shake you too much.
Yes, I will stop now.
All right.
Okay. So, Sylvie, you're gonna have. Oh, what you wearing?
What am I wearing? I am wearing my cardigan. It's called Make Space from Vera, and I can never say it. Yes. And this was knit quite a few years ago with Riverside Studio Yarns, and I love this cardigan. It's very comfortable. It's got beautiful lace, nice stripes around the arms and around the waist. Yep, I like it. It's comfy. And I'm wearing some socks, knitted socks, but I won't show you this time
because you'll knock everything over.
Yes, exactly.
I am wearing Sunset Highway by Caitlin Hunter, and I knit this probably 4 years ago, I think. It was supposed to be long sleeves to begin with, but I ran out of green, so I turned it into a short sleeve sweater. And the green and the gold is Sweet Georgia Tough Love sock, and then the pale green that you see down here, and then I have sparkly variegated yarn up in the background here. And both of those are from Pandia's Jewels. I can't remember the colorway, but they're probably one of a kind anyway. So yeah. And sadly, she's closing up shop. Did we talk about that last time?
Yeah, I don't think we did, but yeah.
Pandia's Jewels, she's going to have one more shop update and then she's done.
Yeah.
Which is really sad because I love her stuff. But everything comes to an end, right?
Unfortunately.
Yeah, we wish her the best.
Yeah.
All right, so that was what we're wearing. Current KALs.
Current KALs. We are still in the 16 weeks of socks KALs, which is ending at the end of September. And so currently right now for the month of August, it is the Llama track socks in memory of Hamish the Llama, which was Robin's Llama who passed away last December, wasn't it?
Yeah, Christmas.
Yeah. And so we had a colorway specially made for those socks from Pretty String. They were called Apples for Amish. Sorry. So that's what we're working on right now. And for those who were probably not interested in the Llama track socks, are currently knitting on any socks designed by a Canadian designer. And we're also doing the Christmas prep along. So anything that has to do with Christmas, now's the time to start knitting, because we all know that Christmas comes by really quick.
It's like in how many months now? How many sleeps?
I heard 18 Mondays.
18 Mondays?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Oh my God.
So, get cracking.
Yeah, it's gonna go by so fast.
So that particular thread in our Ravelry group is just to encourage each other, post what you're knitting on, and it doesn't have to be a gift if you don't want to, if it's just for yourself.
It could just be like a decoration, like you're doing those Advent mittens, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Which is just decoration for Christmas. So.
Yeah.
So now we'll talk about knitting FOs.
Yeah.
Sylvie, do you have anything?
I have one. I have just one lonely FO.
One lonely FO.
So these are exactly what we were talking about, the Llama track socks. Robin had showed her socks the last podcast, I don't have sock blockers. I do apologize. We packed really as
Lightly.
much as we could to get here to Westport, and the sock blockers were left behind. Yeah, so these are with the Apples for Amish colorway by Pretty String. And I think the design is really cool because you can really see the leather tracks.
Yeah.
I really like that.
It's like his footprints.
Exactly. So that's my one and only finish.
That's good. I don't have anything, well, I do, but I can't show you. It's a secret. I've been doing some test knitting for Paper Daisy because she's going to be having a Twilight sock panel coming up in October using yarns from Lolo Did It.
Very
And I think that's going to go on sale the beginning of October, end of September.
End of September. I believe her kits, or I believe her pattern is coming out in September. I'm not too sure, but I know they're having kits done by Lolo Did It, and that'll be ready for sale at the end of September.
Yeah, so go ahead and get it. If you're like us, we never get the kits in time for the KAL because we just live too far away and border holds everything hostage and stuff. But yeah, we do it anyway, and then we end up knitting it later on.
Yeah, and the colors are gorgeous.
They're so pretty.
So go on Instagram and check it out because they've showed the colorways of the 4 sock yarns, and they are beautiful.
Yeah,
Yes.
so nice. So that's, anyway, I've been test knitting for that, and so I can't show you the pattern until they're released. But there is one sock pattern that I can show you.
Oh, yes.
It's been released already. It's called Waiting for Twilight. I only have the one done. Yeah, Waiting for Twilight. I did this, it's supposed to be in DK weight yarn, so I thought I would use Briggs & Little Tuffy, which is my usual go-to thick sock yarn for my husband. But I found the gauge was a little bit tighter than could accommodate this. So what I'm probably going to do, because it hurt my hands to have everything held so tightly, I think what I'm going to do is take this out, re-knit it, and I'm going to do it in, pick a smaller size, and then just loosen up so I don't have to knit so tightly, and then it should still fit my husband, which is the intended recipient for these. But it's very nice, and I really like the stitch pattern on it.
I like the details around the heel here
Yeah,
and the toe,
she's
which is
got
different.
a row of pearl there and
Yeah.
a row of pearl here on the heel, which is really, really nice. I
Yeah.
like that. So, and the other socks have little surprises too. But I can't show you.
No, it's a secret.
What I'm working on right now is that's a whip. Sorry, never mind. Sorry.
She's just sailing along.
I'm just so excited. Okay, so now for our works in progress, I'm introducing our friend Kim, who is definitely a work in progress.
Robin. Meet Kim, our third buddy, our third traveling buddy. What are you working on, Kim?
I'm working on the Lunenburg sweater, and it's designed by Amy Christophers, and I'm knitting it in the Jamieson and Smith.
It's really hard to show because it's a small needle. But
Yeah.
she chose, I love
Yeah.
the colors she chose. So it's all Jamieson and Smith, it's upside down, it's top down. But look at the colors she chose. It's so pretty together. Can you see? Yeah, I'm trying to do this without knocking the camera over. Anyway, really pretty.
Yeah,
Really,
thank
really
you.
pretty.
I'm really enjoying it.
That's good. Oops. Green.
Thank you.
All right.
Do you want to do yours? And then I'll go through my long list.
I am working, so I think it was at our first or second podcast I mentioned that I was working on the Clan Mackenzie boot sock. So I have made some progress on the one sock.
This is from the Outlander knitting book.
Yes, it is definitely from the Outlander knitting book, Clan Mackenzie boot socks. Yeah, so it's from this book here, and it's this pattern here, these socks, and this is, I'm getting close to the toe. So this is knit with the opal yarn, camel, yeah, exactly. So I'm getting there. I think the last time I showed you, I was just over here. So yeah, that's coming along nicely. So that's what I'm working on. And I am also working on the Forever Guarantee. I am on the second skein. I just attached the second skein.
She has made progress on us. I've been watching her knit it.
Yeah, so it's I have I think there's 5 inches from the sleeve. I think I have another 5 to do before. And
Before what? You're gonna put in some horizontal bust darts, right?
No, it's
Or
already
you're not?
there. It's
Oh, it's
already
there.
there. Yeah, because the
Oh.
neckline is so low on this thing, right?
Oh yes. Okay. And then what happens?
And then I decide if I want to do the crop or if I want to have more length and do the ribbing. But I am wanting to sew this beautiful dress that we'll talk about later.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking I'm going to keep it as a crop because it's taking forever to knit.
Well, you can't choose it because of that.
Yes, I can. And I think it'll look good with it. Maybe it'll be a between crop full length sweater. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how things go.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I'm still working on.
Awesome.
Yeah. And you?
So many things. I am working on, I'm working on right now, this is the toe of my toe up socks.
Mm-hmm.
I finished one sock. I'm using the Fish Lips Kiss Heel pattern, and this is my toe up sock pattern for my Christmas socks, because I'd like to have, like I mentioned before many times, I would like to have 25 for the month of December.
Yeah.
So this is one of them.
I say that's the beginning December socks. Because it's Christmassy, but not that Christmassy.
There we go. I guess we transition into more Christmas. Like, it's Christmas Day, I get to wear candy cane or something. So anyway, and this is, I forget the yarn. I've lost the label. It's a German company though, but I forget exactly who it is. So I have that on the go. This is my podcasting socks because they're just plain vanilla knit on 2.25 millimeter needles. And I'm using 68 stitches. I know I normally use 72, but I'm trying to get a snugger sock, so I'm trying 68 stitches, and it fits nicely. I think it'll be really, really good.
Yeah.
So that's that. I'm also working on, I think last time we had just come back from Mitch's, from Cornerstone Farm, where I had purchased Sandnes Garn Tove in 2 colors, red and gray.
Yeah, you had talked about, but you didn't show the yarn though. So
Oh, I didn't show the yarn.
No, you had it with you, but you forgot to show it to everyone.
Okay, well here we are. So I started my dad's vest. I cast on a bajillion stitches. And so this is where I have so far. It's an argyle.
Nice.
Oh shit, I just pushed a whole bunch of stitches off. I just swore.
That's okay.
I just swore. I'm sorry. Anyway, it's an argyle sweater vest. Sorry, our live audience is killing herself laughing. So there's my argyle sweater, and I'm going to continue for forever because my dad is 6'6", so it'll be very, very long, and he likes his sweaters to be quite long. So that's that.
Yeah.
So that's for my dad. I hope he's not watching.
But he knows it's coming though.
He knows it's coming.
Yeah,
He doesn't. He knows a vest is coming. He just doesn't know what's coming.
Right.
And oh yes, then I'm also working on the Star Cardi for the Woolly Thistle knit along for her sweater knit along, which started the 27th of August, and it's going to be finishing the 15th of October.
Oh wow.
Yeah, not much time. So I have Jamieson and Smith. I'm sorry, Deb. I bought it from her so I could participate in the KAL and get this pattern. She's we call her our crack dealer because she's the one who does Jamieson and Smith. She's called Sheeps Ahoy.
Yes.
And she's local to us, and she's wonderful, and she has all the good stuff. But this time I had to not buy from her because I wanted to get the pattern, and if you bought the wool from Woolly Thistle, you would get the pattern for free. So,
okay, yes.
But we will more than make up for it, Deb. Don't worry. So here's a sleeve, and here's a sleeve. What's happening is
really nice though.
Thank you. What's happening is there's a very specific. I guess the sleeves have to match the sweater when they join. Don't worry. I know I stopped at 2 different times. So I have to add 5 inches of length onto the body of the cardigan, and then I have to add 2 inches onto the sleeves because I guess I'm built tall. Well, I'm tall. But my row gauge is off. So I did all the calculations on the chart and started at a certain place according to the gauge on the pattern itself. But I don't know if I'm going to run into problems or not because of the gauge difference. I'm getting 28 stitches over 4 inches, but I'm supposed to have 30 rounds per 4 inches, and I'm getting 36. It's a big difference. So then I thought, well, I'll put those on pause and I'll work on the body. Here's the body, but you can't really see anything because I just started it. But there's the body. So I thought if I go this way, check out my gauge, and maybe just kind of, rotate through all the different bits, and then at some point they'll all come together, and I hope that works out.
Yeah.
I don't know how important it is for everything to finish on the same row. I don't know how important that is.
Yeah, because there's not a lot of pictures out there of the pattern, so it's hard to really see
and to make a judgment call. Yeah, so maybe I'll just have to live with it and just have a sweater that doesn't perfectly match, but it's pretty and it's green. Last podcast, see, green.
Yeah.
Last podcast I made a mistake. I had told you this was the main color and that was the contrast. It's actually the reverse. This is the main and this is the contrast, which works out better because I was kind of concerned about the dark. Anyway.
Oh. I don't think so. But anyways, it looks really good.
Thank you. So that's it.
Yeah.
And I think those are my current widths. Everything else is kind of waiting.
And all your test knits.
Oh, my test knits. Yeah, I'll get another test knit, I think, this week.
You're doing another one? You signed up for
Probably
another
two
one?
more. I didn't sign up yet, but she's probably gonna ask me.
Oh boy.
And I'll have 2 more. And then I'll be free for a while.
Sure.
She's the only person I really test knit for anymore is Paper Daisy.
Okay.
I like her.
All right, we have our tea. Thank you to our live
Yes,
audience,
our
Kim.
live audience,
Thank
Kim.
you.
Thank you. Our work in progress. She's almost graduated.
All right, so we're going into spinning. So I don't have any finished spin right now. We'll get more into into something else later that we'll talk about, but Robin definitely has some good news.
So one of my favorite people in Canada is fibre. Sorry, I keep getting her name wrong. Fairy Tale Wool.
Yeah.
Sorry, I get her mixed up with Fibre Pusher Fairy. Anyway, so Fairy Tale Wool. Her tag looks like this. She's awesome.
Yes.
She lives in Seashell, BC.
I agree.
Highly recommend her stuff. The interesting thing is I had this one colorway I'll show you. It's called Retro. Sorry, it's called Retro, and it's all on Romney wool. Natural dye. Everything she does is natural dye. And I thought I'd have this, and then I also have this. And this one is called Rashmi's Curry. I used to have a friend growing up. Her name was Rashmi. Actually, she wasn't a friend. She was a mentor because she was older than I. She was really pretty. Anyway, so this is Rashmi's Curry. The thing that I found interesting and why I'm showing you this is because I spun both of them. This is Retro right here. And then this is Rashmi's Curry right here. But they're very similar.
Yeah.
Even though I find that the 2 braids look
Different.
quite different. You know,
Well, similar colors, but still different.
Yeah, it's still different. But then when I spun them,
Yeah.
sorry, the tag's in the way. When I spun them, they look very similarly.
Yeah.
So I thought I think I have 2 each of each color yet to
Oh,
spin.
you still, eh?
Yeah. So I thought that what I could do is if I have enough yardage, I could combine them to make a sweater.
Yeah.
Possibly. So we'll have to see. So I have probably a sport weight yarn, and I have 200 and some meters per skein, but I thought that was kind of cool. She has another colorway too that I had to get. It's called Big Bang Theory. I don't know if it's from the Big Bang or from the show Big Bang Theory.
I'm thinking it's from the show, but
Could be either way. So anyway, I like it, and so this is it. So after experiencing the similarity between these 2 skeins, I thought, well, I'm going to try doing a chain ply with this one to showcase the yarn itself.
yeah, turned out really good.
Thank you, to maintain all the colors. So that's kind of cool. So I still have 2 more of these, I think, to do, because they're only about 50, 60 grams. So I'm going to do that, and who knows what I'll do with it. I'll just put it away in my little bin until I find the absolute perfect project.
There you go.
So those are my spinning FO whip thick kind of things.
Yeah.
So we want to talk about our bead
Yeah,
study.
so last podcast we showed you our bag full of goodies that we wanted to actually we bought the breed study kit.
Yeah, from Roses and Pearls.
And she's an online store up in Thunder Bay, Ontario.
Yeah.
So she also provided a list of all the different fibers, and so we decided to just start from the top, which was the alpaca.
Yeah.
So each spun the alpaca. First of all, I don't know, I wasn't aware, so I looked more into the alpaca. I'm sure, I don't know if you are a spinner, and if you're new to spinning, there is a book that's called
The Field Guide to Breed, is that
Yes.
one? Or Breed Field Guide?
Yes.
By Carol Acarius. We're not going to say it.
I'll,
Anyway,
I'll write it all over here. But there's a very thick book, and there's also like a tiny little book field guide. But anyways, so I've looked through those 2 books, and there are 2 different kinds of alpaca. Did you know that?
Yes.
I didn't. So there's the Huiqueya, and there's the Suri. Yeah, so the Huiqueya is obviously the most common one, and the Suri is not so common. They have curls, actually, it looks like. I'll show you some pictures. So the Suri has very long locks, I guess you can say. Yeah. And they're curly as opposed to the normal alpacas that we see day to day around here.
Like Hamish.
Like Hamish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Hamish is
Well,
a
he's a
llama.
llama, but he looks the same.
Yeah.
Only bigger.
So I thought that was very interesting. And also in the list that she provided, it said alpaca baby, and so of course automatically I thought, oh, it's got to be like maybe the first shearing of this alpaca, but what they mean to say is because it's very, very fine. So it's like, oh, that's interesting to know.
So the baby alpaca means the fineness of the fleece, not the chronological age of the animal.
Yeah,
which was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Really cool.
So how did you enjoy spinning the alpaca?
I had 2 experiences with it, literally. So it was a prepared top. So
Yes.
I'm shaking the table again. It was a prepared top. So when I started to spin, I didn't think alpaca had direction to their fleece because they don't have scales. They're hollow tubes, but they do. So what I didn't know was I was spinning I had broken it in half, and I was spinning one half and then spinning the other half. And the first half, I guess I had it backwards, and I was spinning against the grain, so to speak, as opposed to with the grain. So I thought, man, people have to spin naked with this stuff because it sticks to everything. It was sticking to all my clothes, and it was very hairy when I was spinning it, and I couldn't smooth it down. So at first I thought I was going to spin it worsted with the short forward draw, but I was happy to say that I had to spin it long draw. So I had a very long draw because it was so bushy almost when I was spinning it. I had to really pull and had to be really far back, and I was doing a supported long draw, and my other hand was way, so like really quite far, way up here, and this was my whole drafting zone was in here, and that turned out nicely. But because it was behaving so much, or misbehaving so much, I had little uneven bits, which I really don't like, but I had to let that go. And little did I know that when I spun the second half, it was all smooth and it was no longer hairy, and I got to spin with my clothes on. So not that I was naked, but I mean, I got to spin with my clothes on. It was all perfect and there was no hairiness. It didn't stick to my clothes. It was super easy, but I continued spinning it the same way I had started. And then I have this skein here that you probably really can't see, but anyway, and I have probably a sport weight 2-ply woolen spun, so it'll be semi-woolen because the preparation was a worsted. And
I did the opposite. So I don't have a preference right now, I guess you can say, when I'm spinning. I guess my go-to is short forward because that's how I felt more comfortable when I first started spinning. So I'm now learning to do and practice the long draw and stuff like that. So I did the worsted, the true worsted spinning. So I did the short forward. Yeah, can't talk. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
So I didn't have to spin naked because I didn't have this same experience as Robin. But they did, when I was reading up on it as well, they did explain because they have such long locks as well, similar to some sheeps that do have long locks, but not quite the same. You have to be careful not to put too much twist in it because then it gets kind of ropey. So that got me a bit nervous. I was like, oh shit. Okay.
Oh, you swore.
Beep. So that got me a bit nervous, but I still went ahead and did the ratio 10 point. I have a ladybug, so I have a fast whirl and I have a slow whirl, I believe. But anyways, I used my fast whirl, which is 10.5, to do my short forward draw with 2 treadles. So I did 2 treadles as I was doing it, and it turned out pretty good. It did not turn out ropey, but it's still soft. And compared to Robin's, we were talking about that yesterday, the 3 of us with Kim. We got Kim to like touch and feel and then let us know what she thought. Robin's is
very drapey.
Yes.
It's very loosey. It's the same softness, but hers feels more sturdy. But she also, even though we have I forgot to mention what my ratio was on my reel. I spun and plied at 10:1, and hers is very similar, but I count my treadles when I spin, so I had 3 treadles, and then on the 4th treadle I went on, so she was half of that.
Yeah, I was on a 10.5:1 and I did 2 treadles for the singles, and then when I plied it, I went to the 9.1, 9 to 1 ratio, and at 3, I didn't count my treadles in, but I think I did 3 to 4.
Okay,
it's possible. Anyways,
but
that's what they say with alpaca, right? Usually you blend it with wool because it doesn't have the elasticity and stuff.
Right.
And so if you want to just do pure alpaca, they say you need to find that sweet spot so it doesn't sag when you knit a garment or whatever.
And doesn't floof apart.
Right, exactly.
Because you have to have it hold.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty happy with what I got, but I would prefer to use alpaca as a blend. Yeah. I wouldn't want to I've spun a whole sweaters quantity I have yet to knit in alpaca, but I prefer, oh, sorry.
You prefer?
I prefer it in a blend.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then I'm also biased. I really love wool. So.
I enjoyed spinning with alpaca,
Yeah.
and I would do it again, but I'm not sure I would actively go out and buy some, just because I would be afraid knitting something up and it would just sag, right? I guess I'm not.
You would want it in a blend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not, for now, maybe in the future, I'm not that interested enough to work on it to get that sweet spot, as they say, to be able to knit something up with it.
Right.
But I enjoyed spinning it anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really nice. It was slippery too. That was the other thing.
Yes.
I found it very slippery, so I had to really make my uptake. I had to really take down my uptake. Take it up, take it down.
I took it down. I had a tad
had to
of
loosen it.
Yes, I had a tad of an uptake to do to it.
Yeah, because otherwise my normal uptake was for wool, and I had to keep loosening it, because it was just wanted to slip out of my hands.
Yeah.
So it was a cool experience though.
It was nice.
Yeah. And our next one up is Black Welsh Mountain.
Yeah.
Woohoo.
So
next podcast, keep your eyes peeled.
Yeah, we'll let you know what we thought about the Black Welsh Mountain. Just wanted to let you know, if you are interested in spinning alpaca, I did find through Spinoff, they have a free guide, I guess you can say, that you can download. It's called A Guide to Spinning Alpaca from KALs. So if you're interested to learn more, you can go ahead and find that on the internet and download that. Yeah.
Excellent. So that was our Brie experience.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was. So next we are talking about sewing.
Yes.
So Bree's going to talk about something she forgot.
Oh, yes, but we had everything else to pack to come here.
Like clothes to wear and food.
So, so when I was talking about that dress that I wanted to sew when I was showing the Darren T, and again, on the last podcast, we kind of hinted to that too, and thanks to Denise and Jane, we want to sew the hinterland dress. So the pattern is on its way. I did not want to download and do the PDF thing, print, and I'm not into that. I prefer the actual paper copy. So we found one. We're waiting for that to come in.
From BC, I think, eh?
Yeah, from Spool and I'll write it down.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
It'll be down here somewhere.
And we also found an online shop for linen, which is called Pure Envy.
Pure Linen Envy? Or
Pure Envy, yeah.
I think.
Something like that, eh?
Yeah, I think so.
So I ordered it for myself and Robin, and it came in the day before we were coming here to Westport, and I thought, oh, I got to bring that, and it's still sitting at home.
I haven't seen my fabric yet.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, but
she ordered a nice blue. It's really nice. So that's along with my Frankie tee that I still want to make. You remember from the first podcast or second, it was a bunch of owls. I still need to get cracking on that, plus the hinterland dress that I want to do. So.
There's so much to do.
Yeah. But in the meantime, you have some wonderful...
I do. I haven't taken it out of the package, but I have a layer cake.
Yeah.
It's called, and it's really cool. It's got all these squares. I'm not sure how many squares. 40 or something?
Does it say it? Is it written on there
Probably,
somewhere?
but I don't have my glasses on.
Turn it around.
It's...
No.
Anyway, it's a whole bunch of squares of fabric, cotton fabric, and I got flannelette, which I think is really nice. And I got 2 of these layer cakes, and I'm going to be making a quilt. I just have to figure out, I think I'm probably going to make a 9-patch, which means I have to cut this into 9 different squares and then reassemble them and sew them together.
That's going to be a lot of work.
Oh yeah, but it's fun.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what I'm going to do, and I haven't decided on the backing. Usually I choose a flannelette backing as well, just because it's so nice and cozy. So I'm going to be doing that, and that's for our bed. We have a queen-size bed, so I'd like that to fit.
It's going to be nice.
And thank you. So I like that. So that's that. And I guess besides what we were just talking about with the dress, I'm not quite finished my shorts yet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I just
didn't have time. I just have to attach the waistband.
That's right.
I'm so close to being done.
It'll be winter and she'll be showing off her shorts.
I will. Well, not quite yet. I have to upturn the cuff on the bottom of the pants, and then I have to put the waistband on. But I just didn't have time. I don't know where the time goes. But
I don't know. Maybe on all the other stuff you're making?
Maybe. Test knits?
Yeah. Maybe if you eliminated that, you'd have a bit more time.
That's what the fun is. Yeah. So I have a dishcloth. Actually, I have 7 dishcloths.
Oh, you made it came. Was that your plan? 7?
My plan was 6.
Oh, so you got an extra.
Well, what happened is apparently I have to learn how to measure. When I was doing this on the loom, it looked like it was square, but obviously it's not square. So this is the first one. I finished this edge. I folded it down and I sewed it. I have to do the same thing here, but then I was thinking, should I turn it down and sew it like this side and then it's going to be really narrow, or should I pick this out, that hem, and just leave it? But Sylvie said no, I should. This looks nice. I should flip over the other side and sew it down. So I'll probably do that.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people who like rectangular dishcloth as well, not necessarily the squares.
I haven't seen that, but that's okay. It's dishcloths, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's my first time, and I'm happy.
You did an awesome job.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
really like it. And then one of them, I was noticing I was about to sew off the edge, and I totally missed a repeat, so it's really narrow.
Oh.
It's going to be, I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but anyway.
Oh, you'll find use with it.
Oh yeah, not a problem. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy with this. I finally finished this, so now I get to start my kitchen floor mat
Oh, yes.
in front of the kitchen sink. Very happy.
I still need to order my cotton to do the tea towels that I want to make.
Oh yeah.
I want to make a Christmas vintage tea towel.
Ooh,
towel
so the colors will be like this.
Not quite.
Not quite?
They will
That's
be
kind of vintage.
Yeah, they'll be green, like a nice dark green, red, with a nice maybe off-white or something. I don't know. It'll be
Okay.
very pretty, I hope.
Well, I'm sure it will.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, the other weaving thing. Oh my goodness, I almost forgot. So,
Oh, yeah.
so this was so cool. So in my spinning guild, there's this woman, Anne.
Very
She-
talented.
Oh yeah. So anyway, she's really cool. she used to have border Leicester sheep, and she sold her sheep. She's downsizing, but she still has a ton of their wool. So so what she did was she spun the wool, like processed all of the wool by hand. She spun it, she dyed it, she wove it, and I have the finished object. I won this in a silent auction.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I won because she just wanted to shut me up because I kept telling her how much I love the blanket, or if I actually won, or what happened. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Now I'm like Linus with my blanket. It
Look
goes
how
with me
gorgeous
everywhere.
that is.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. So she wove this. I know, it's really soft. It's really nice. She wove this on a Leclerc 16-inch Dorothy loom. And then she sewed I think it was 16 inches. Maybe it was a bit bigger. I think she may have had a slightly larger size, but it was small. And then she had these two panels, and then she sewed them together.
Oh, yeah, and you can't see the seam.
You can't see. You have to feel it. And if you're lucky, you'll feel where the seam is, but you
Yeah.
can't see the seam. But I absolutely love this. It's blue and orange. I love orange. I can't wear it because it makes me look green, but
See, eventually with my weaving, I want to do something like this here, but like make a skirt out of it.
Yes, yes,
You know,
I
I
agree.
want to be able to get to that point.
I
Yeah.
totally concur.
Yeah.
Me too. But in the meantime, this is my blanket. I want my blanket. It's just a lap blanket, but I love it. And like I said, I take it with me everywhere. I go
She does.
outside and I
She
take it
does.
with me.
It's like hot and humid, and she's got it right beside her.
I'm Linus. I'm like Linus, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
So thank you, Anne. I love my blanket.
All right. On to shop talk, guys.
Shop talk.
So,
We have a 3-month sock club.
yes.
So what happens is you make one payment for the whole 3 months, and this covers you'll have to pay for the delivery charges outside of that. But what you have is you have the delivery charge that'll be added on after you add it to your cart. You have 3 months of sock yarn that will come to you, one sock yarn per month.
Yeah.
But that just is one total. Somebody was confused and thought they had to pay that amount every month for 3 months, but that's not it.
That's for the 3 skeins.
Yes. So if you're Canadian, it's around $80, and that's for all 3 skeins. But you'll get 1 skein September. Well, we'll mail it. You get it in October, so you'll receive
Yeah.
1 October, 1 November, and 1 in December in the early part of the month, because we're going to mail at the end of the previous month. The cutoff deadline for this is the 10th of September because we have to give enough time for our indie dyer, which is Evie Knits,
Yes.
to dye the yarn and then get it to us, and then we can start mailing it out.
Colors will be autumn colors,
Autumnal colors.
Yes.
Yeah.
which, you know.
And we don't know what we're going to get.
No, we
don't
haven't
know.
seen it at all.
You have different choices of sock bases, like you can have
Yeah.
regular sock, or you can have what's it called? Cashmere nylon, merino nylon.
Yes.
Anyway.
MCN.
MCN. Sorry, we're on holiday. MCN, so cashmere nylon, merino nylon.
Yeah.
So you have those 2 choices. And beyond that, we don't know anything about the colors. But we were thinking one of the things we want to knit is Till the Cows Come Home.
Yes.
It's a cowl. Till the Cowls Come Home, not cows come
Yes.
home. By Lyrical Knits. And we thought that these 3 sock yarns would coordinate, because they're supposed to either coordinate or you could knit them individually. We thought they would coordinate well enough to make that cowl.
Yes,
I just need 3 colors for that pattern.
I believe so. So I knit that cowl actually. It was a make along with Lyrical Knits a few years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. And I love knitting that cowl. It's a different construction. And because it's been so long, I can't remember exactly what it was, but I know it was different and it was very interesting. And I'll just show a picture of it here. But I wear that cowl all the time in the fall. Actually, I was wearing it probably on our practice podcast that one time, the first time.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah.
Our episode 0.
Yes, and it's something that I've been wanting to knit again in a different colorway. So this will be an excellent time to do so. So yeah.
So if you were interested at all, again, you will get 3 skeins of sock yarn, your choice of sock base. The 3 will be, you can use them together in one project that uses 3 skeins of sock yarn, or you can make them individually and have 3 different pairs of socks.
Whatever you want.
Whatever you like.
But if you want to join the cowl, we're thinking probably in the new year.
Probably in January, because not everybody, we won't have all the skeins until December, and nobody wants to do stuff over Christmas because they're doing Christmas stuff. So probably start the cowl in January.
Yeah.
And then Sylvie will finally get her till the cows come
Yay!
home cowl.
Wow. So Robin has, again, like I said, Robin is always finding some interesting stuff on the internet. So Susan Crawford is coming out
with a new book.
Yes.
It's her, what does she call it? Did I write it down?
You did.
I can't read it.
You wrote.
I didn't write it down. That's something else.
Coming. It's Stitch in Time.
Stitch in Time, but volume 3 with color work.
Yes.
And of course I had to order it. I love Susan Crawford.
Low in funds, but I want it. It's going to be on my Christmas list. Christmas wish. I know it's a pre-order thing.
Thanksgiving is sooner.
Yeah, we'll see.
Anyway, it's beautiful. It's Susan Crawford. She takes old vintage patterns and she kind of modernizes them and makes them into size inclusive patterns.
Yeah.
And they're beautiful and we love her and she's our hero.
I have the vintage Shetland vintage. Love that book. I still have to make that rose cardigan. So in love with that rose cardigan.
I have so many things from that book too. It's beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
So anyway, if you go to her website, you can see where you can buy that pattern, and she has the actual book won't be released until November 2022, but I think she's going to be having a couple of digital patterns that will come out.
Yes, I think
just
so.
to kind of tide you over, right? But yeah, it'll be an amazing book, just like the Shetland one was as well.
Yeah.
The other thing is that what I think is really cool, because we keep talking about having a wardrobe and figuring out who you are, and I find especially, so By Hand Serial is a company or publishing. It was Andrea Hungerford who started this about 5 years ago, I think, and it was not an annual. It was a book that came out every 3 months or 3 times a year. I'm sorry, 3 times a year. And in those books, she had recipes and she had little interviews with different places, and she would go across to different locations. Yeah. And if she went to Maine, for example, she would see all the businesses out there. Well, not all of them, whatever she did.
It was kind of a theme driven as well, I
suppose. Kind of area. Yeah. So then she would have a sewing pattern, and she would have some knitting patterns, and she would have recipes in there. Yeah. All different kinds of things. Wonderful book. She has been bought out by another person who is still continuing the By Hand Serial books, but I think they're going to do it 4 times a year now, the actual physical book that's going to go out in the mail. But she's also adding in a thing called a journal, and that's monthly. And they're going to have all kinds of things in this journal. So by the end of the year, if you make everything in the journal, you're knitting, sewing, whatever it is, you're going to have a whole wardrobe by the end of the year.
Which is very cool.
I think it's really amazing. So of course, I had to sign up for that when I renewed my subscription to the By Hand Serial book.
I think my arm is slowly getting twisted. Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward to it, because I find that Andrea Hungerford's patterns that she's designing for this as well will continue to design for it. It's practical, it's usable, it's utilitarian, but they're pretty at the same time. And I think I'm really looking forward to seeing what it is that she's going to be producing, both in sewing and in knitting. So that's something to check out too. ByHandSerial.com is the website you can go to if you're interested. But it sounds pretty cool.
It does. It does.
And I think that might be it for today.
I think so too.
Unless you wanted to make fun of me, right? Oh, she didn't want to make fun of me.
No. So we're here in Westport. I don't know if you ever been to Westport. It's a little community, actually. How long? Maybe about 2 hours from Ottawa, south Ottawa, Westport, Ontario. It's a beautiful tourist town, right by Rideau Lake. And there's a mountain called Mountain Foley as well that you can go up and have a beautiful view of the city or of the little town. So we've been here quite often, actually, well, not that often, but we've been here like on day trips. Because it's close to Perth, Ontario, where Unraveled is, we would drive up to Perth, visit Unravel, sit at the park a bit, and then come to Westport because there's a beautiful little tea room here called the Dancing Moon. Just awesome
high
tea
tea.
room.
Amazing. The food is amazing.
Oh, if you like tea or high tea, check out Dancing Moon. It is great.
But last year we were quite daring and we had a lunch here too. We didn't have a tea. We just had like menu stuff. It was amazing. The food is so flavorful. It's so good.
And the people, the owners
nice.
are super nice. Yeah. So what we decided to do this time around, because we try to do with Kim, that's why we're like a little live audience here. We try to do little outings, little knitting getaways, I guess you can say.
Yeah. Last
year was in Belleville. This year we thought, oh, let's do Westport and let's hit that tea room again. So that's exactly what we did. But, and I'll show you a little bit, I'll show you pictures of our Raven's Nest, which is our Airbnb as well, which is very cute and cozy, which is an old carriage house.
Yeah, in the back of a house.
Yeah, so we're on top of the old carriage house.
I kind of feel like, I don't know if anybody watched The Bionic Woman back when it was on TV with Jamie Summer, but she lived on top of the garage.
Oh yes, that's right.
And this reminds me of that. And I just think, oh, like Jamie Summer.
It's very cozy. I was like, oh, if I was single, this would be like a cool apartment.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice apartment.
Yeah. Now, there is a mountain here called Mount Foley. And that's where you can go up by car and just walk maybe 2 minutes to what it's called Spy Rock to see the beautiful view. But they also have a 6-kilometer trail that you can walk, do like a whole loop. And I thought, this will be fun to go walking, not thinking it's on a mountain. I'm thinking in my mind that it's a nice trail. Woohoo, let's go. Start the walk on Foley Mountain. It's gorgeous. It is very beautiful. But of course you're going downhill. And you're seeing these beautiful trees, beautiful landscape. You're right by the right by the Lake Rito. It is gorgeous.
It is.
But then if you go down on a mountain, you must come up. Poor Robin, poor me. We were huffing and puffing, but we did it. Yeah. We did it.
It's because I have multiple sclerosis, so I get heat-related symptoms. So if I get overheated, then my muscles don't work according to my brain's directions. So that was part of the problem that I ran into. I was very happy to go partway through. I guess it was almost
halfway.
Halfway, I think.
We were at the 3-kilometer mark when we had to come back and go up the mountain. And it's not an easy pathway. It's a rock. It's steep and it's very rocky. Yeah. And a lot of roots as well. Yeah. So it makes it even more difficult because you got to concentrate on where you're putting your foot. Yeah. As you're walking. And when your brain isn't connecting to your nerve endings and making everything work properly, it's kind of a bit scary because you don't know exactly what's going on. See, I was huffing and puffing right along with you because for different reasons. Yeah. But we both did it. So, yes. Yeah, so we're very, very proud of ourselves. There was no helicopter evacuation. No, we had Kim, our energy bunny, running up the hill. Running up the hill. To start the air conditioning in the van so it could have a head start to cool off. So yeah, that was nice. So yeah, that was very nice. Anyway, it was an adventure. We all survived. So yeah, it was fun. And it was fun, and we'll do it again next year. Yeah. And it'll be curious to see. It was painful to go up, but we are willing to try it again next year. Contrast and compare. Yeah. Yeah. And then we went shopping a little bit. Yeah. You got yourself a hoop for your rug hooking. Yes, I did. And we went to visit a beautiful little kitchen shop. So we got ourselves a really nice kitchen shop. Yeah. With different little gourmet spices. Leave your wallet in the car. Yeah. Yeah. But this is, if you're near Ottawa or Kingston, this is a good day trip to do as well. Yeah, it's beautiful. Mm-hmm. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, so we'll leave you with some footage of that. Some footage of, not of us huffing and puffing. No. Of the beginning of our nice walk. So thank you very much for joining us today. I hope you're having a good week and you're surviving this other heat wave we seem to be having. Well, it's not as bad as 2 weeks ago. No, that's true. But it's still pretty warm. Yeah, for September. Yeah. So take care. Have a good week. Stay safe. Wear a mask.